lesson we're going to be looking at playing the major scale in a blues and how you can make that possible. Typically a blues progression is a 1-4-5, so in this case we're going to be looking at blues in A, if you like. So our 1 chord would be A, 4 chord would be D, and our 5 chord would be B. In this case we're going to be concentrating on the 1 chord. So what typically happens in blues is that a dominant 7 chord is used as the 1 chord, because it has that nice bluesy quality to it, with that flat 7 note. Okay, so what typically happens is you can use minor pentatonic. A minor pentatonic fits nicely over that 1 chord, that dominant 7, because it has all the notes of the dominant 7 in it. Also the blues scale, caters for the flat 7, which is fine. And you can get some great playing out of that, some great licks and stuff like that. But what people don't consider, or what some people don't consider, is that you can use a major scale. There's 2 major scales you can use over a dominant 7 chord. The first one would be D major, and I'll explain why. D major is fine, and G major. Now, if you go back to a previous lesson of mine on harmonising the major scale, which will pop up somewhere on the screen, that will explain that when you harmonise the major scale, every note or every degree of the major scale has a chord associated with it. So, for instance, just a quick recap, G major would, the first note of G major would be a major chord, the second would be a minor chord, the third would be a minor chord, the fourth would be a major chord, fifth dominant 7 chord. Now what's interesting is there's only 1 dominant 7 chord in the harmonised major scale. So we can easily determine what key we're in. So if we're using A dominant 7 as our 1 chord, then we can quickly work out that we're in D major, because the 5th degree of D major is the dominant 7, which is the A dominant 7. Okay? So we know straight away, by quickly working that out, or going 5 steps back from the dominant 7, if you like, we've got to D. So D major is our key there, or is the 1. Also, in D major, the 4th degree is G, and that's a major as well. So we can play G major over the A dominant 7. So when you're playing a blues and your 1 chord is a dominant 7 chord, or you want to spell out that it's a dominant 7 chord, then all you need to do is take your root note, which is your A, go down a tone to G, and that would be the 4th degree of D major, which is also a major, and that can be played over the dominant 7. So what happens there, you can mix that in with your blues scale and your pentatonic scale. And then you've got some nice notes outside of the box, if you will. Okay. So to recap, when you're playing a dominant 7 and it's your 1 chord, take it down a tone and play the major scale, and that will fit perfectly